Hello. Okay, so I think now we're gonna now look at it what is like to be a blank. And the one that I think will be interesting to examine is the turtle. The turtle has like evolved in so many ways, and I think I will include kind of the tortoise in this. I think because they are in the same family. And I don't know how true it is, but maybe they are like from the same mother or father way back and then eventually just bridged off. But to go into a turtle, let's examine what they're like. First, physically, right? A turtle and a tortoise. You know what? Sorry, I'll just focus on turtle. They have a shell on their back. They are a reptile. They have scales. They're sorry, no, they're not reptiles. They're amphibians, right? They tend to not necessarily have wings, but they have these flappers on their sides that help them swim. Um, they do have a tail. They do have feet that's webbed. Um, I realize I am kind of broadly talking about turtles, and now I just will try to focus on mainly the home at turtle, the one we buy or a lot of people buy. So he has a hard shell. Amphibian has scales, webbed feet, kind of claws, a tail. Um, some of its behaviors is that it is defense mechanism. It goes back into its hard shell to protect itself. Um, I'm searching out what do turtles eat, and they pretty much or so they're carnivores. I guess they eat worms, crickets, grasshoppers, carrots, squash. So they're omnivores. Peas, leafy greens. Um, Now, I think this is now where I'm able to maybe get into where they differ is when we're talking about the evolution of them. Um, some walk on land, some have longer arms, which are more like the sea turtles. They don't necessarily have claws or any kind of webbing on their feet. Then when we think of the turtles that you buy at the pet store, they're the ones that with claws, with web feet, different type of structure, a lot smaller. Also, I think I noticed too, like different eyes. I'm going to a lot about the biology, and I think that's maybe me influenced by Switch Gable's paper on the snail. But to try to not go too far into that, I mainly get back to what it's like to be like. What's the behavior? Um, well, they're hungry. They do go and eat. They do poo in their tank. They like to take a swim. I would like to believe to stay moist. I'm talking about the ones at home as pets and the sea turtles. Um, they do mate. Of course, I would like to believe they do turtles mate. Um, um, Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, they do mate. um, and then they lay eggs. They have a reproductive process. I guess I don't know much about turtles. And then so I think now, although I picked them and now I kind of regret it, but I'm already recording so much, is I wonder now. So right, so we're talking. So first of all, I think in terms of what they want physiologically, biologically, like food, hunger, need to poo, sexual reproduction. I think those are conscious experience that I feel very confident in that it is how they experience it, as in they feel hungry, so they want to eat. They what do you call it? I don't want to say well, they don't feel lusty, but they may or feel lust, but they may do it for the sense of reproduction. I think those are definitely aspects because we share those evolutionary aspects as well. Now, with the behavior and possible sensory experiences, I don't know, and I struggle with that because, for example, we use goggles often to go swimming to protect our eyes to be able to see in water. They don't, they maybe have this protective layer on their eyes, and that I did not Google, I'm guessing, but protective layer on their eyes that allow them to swim and be adapted for the water could protect our eyes and allow them to see a certain distance and everything. Further, we may don't know, but their eyesight could be way different in terms of just how they see things. Like, I think one of the common things where maybe I should have picked it was a dog, and we hear it's colorblind. And I think often you see on TV shows that when you see a dog running, it's just in black and white from the perspective of theirs. Now, going back to the turtle, I think that's where I feel very little confidence in. Exactly because we have nothing alike in that sense. They don't have hands, they don't have opposable thumbs. We don't have eyes that allow us to see in water, and also we don't have that lung capacity to be able to be in water for as long as them. And I think also the fact that they try to live by water is already this different environment that leads that I think to a also fundamental different conscious experience of the world. And also, I mean, that's just further of how we're fundamentally different as species, with them being a turtles and we're being humans. It's maybe meant to be a different type of conscious experience, but it's still conscious experience nonetheless. And I think then further, just now I realize that adds on even to more of the abstraction and complexity of what consciousness is and what qualifies as consciousness. Because if we have these such complex and wide variety of things that are conscious, it's like, okay, what the heck? Now, when are we going to get the chance to build from the ground up and just kind of give a rule set of what's conscious? And just now connecting it back again to the turtle, it's like, I realize how much do I really know? I mean, science, they even say none of it's a cause and effect, it's all correlation. We can't exactly see the cause and effect in the world. As much as like we want to say me dropping a pen from 10 feet tall will cause my pen to fall to the ground. While that, I think, in more practical sense is true, the fact is we only see the correlation of me letting go of my fingers with holding the pen and the pen falling to the ground from gravity, etc. And I just feel so little confidence in being able to tell what an animal or something else that we think is conscious and they're based off their behaviors and anything, when already I think we're skeptical of each other as humans. And not to say if we're conscious, but like what we're thinking, what we feel, what's going on. And it's a whole different type of dilemma. And I think further when we get into this kind of nature nurture aspect of where I'm talking about psychology, basically there's this idea that we're born a certain way and we can be nurtured into another way, nurture to be good, nurture to be bad. And kind of thinking if this consciousness, is it really okay born with us? And then are we also to shape it as well? Are we to kind of formulate it, make it grow, make it not grow, make it go down a certain path? And also then within the parameters of our own species, because as I'm not confident in already what my own consciousness is of this experience, I wonder what it would be for an animal, or a turtle, more specifically with my answer. And I guess it just shows again, like maybe I am on the negative side where we can't know what it's like to be a bat, but I think we can try as much, and I think that's also a good aspect where we're being more. I don't want to say humanitarian because that's for humans, but caring about other life. And I just will say though that unless they create maybe some kind of what do you call it, VR system where that enables it, I don't know when if we'll ever able to truly tell and be able to see like if a turtle's conscious and also know what it is like to be a turtle. Thank you.